What's up, beautiful people? If you are new here, my name is Imelda, and in today's video I'll be sharing with you all how to make these delicious snails. So if you're interested, then keep watching. And to cook these snails, we'll be needing the following ingredients. Of course, we'll be needing a medium-sized onion, 3 cloves of garlic, a bit of ginger, and half paprika. The paprika is optional. You can do without it, but if you do with it, you realize you have been missing something in your snails recipe. And I blended all of that goodness together. It gave me this beautiful paste, which is in this little bowl, which I'll just set aside. You need some water. My snails has been partly cooked, not pre-cooked, not really like, it has been cooked just a little bit. So yeah, it's not completely raw and it's not like midway cooked, but partly cooked. We're needing some Maggie cubes, a pinch of salt, because salt and snails are not friends. And yeah, I'm doing it the traditional way, so I'll be using palm oil. So into my pot, I'll just go ahead to pour in the snails. Followed by I'm adding the water. Like I said, my snail is a bit cooked, so it's not really raw. And of course, I will not be needing a lot of water, but if you are using like dry snails or raw snails, you'll be adding more water. And into that, I'll be adding part of the salt. I'm using half tablespoon of salt, but I'll not be adding everything at once, like I said, because snails and salt are not friends. I prefer to add my salt in two times. That's two different times. And then after the salt, I added 1 Maggie, so I'm leaving out part of the salt and 1 Maggie cube, which I'll add much later. And then I'll be adding part of the blended spices, which I'll then mix everything together and cover the pot in order for all of that goodness to cook. Not completely cook, like partly cook, midway between cooked. So yeah, so snails is that meal where I grew up in a house where we don't cook snails, of course, because of my ethnicity. I'm from the western region of Cameroon, the Bamilikes. So we are not known for eating snails, but we grew up in the southwest region where snails is like that protein or that meat where it's being consumed at homes. So of course we're forced to eat it from outside or from neighbors. So right now, after the water had really gone down, I'm adding the leftover salt and Maggie cubes and the last part of the spices. So before adding the snails and the Maggie, before adding the salt and the Maggie, I tasted it, of course. So I realized, yes, I still need to add what I had, but you need to really be careful with salt and maybe Maggie also, because it really gets salty with snails. So while adding that, you need to be watchful. Then I'll add my palm oil. This also, I didn't put a lot of palm oil because I'm trying to be healthy. So you can add in a lot of palm oil. It's just like your preference. You can add in as much as you want. I'll allow that to simmer for a few minutes before I then stir everything and then allow it again to cook for the water to really dry out of the pot. So like I was explaining about my snail story, so I got to eat snails from buying it along the streets, because snails also they sell snails. I don't think they still sell snails. The sell snails is like a street food where you can buy around the corner. And also my older brother got married to a Southwesterner, so she used to prepare snails. I could eat snails from their place. That's how I got to eat snails. But since we never prepared it at home, I never bothered to ask how it's being prepared. I was just eating. So when I traveled and it hit me, I really wanted to eat snails, but I didn't know how to prepare it. So of course I contacted the Southwest sister. She explained to me two methods, with paprika or without paprika. So I tried it with paprika and without paprika. That's adding the other ingredients, and then with paprika and without paprika. And I'm like a paprika girl now, so I prepare my snails with paprika. So that's why you saw me with paprika. But if you are not too sure, you can leave out paprika and just do with the ginger, garlic, and onions. So that's how I'm preparing my snails. And guys, like I said, at this point, I'm just allowing the water to dry out so that your water have to dry out so that you are left just with the oil. But before that, you have to make sure that you taste your snails until it's tender, until it's ready. So if your snails is still hard, of course you need to add in more water. But if it's tender, then you just need to allow your water to dry out, and then you keep on stirring until you get to your desired level, until you get to the point where you say, okay, I'm stopping right here. So you will notice that I still have some water into this oil mixture. I'll still leave it for it to really dry out. So yeah, that's how I prepare my snails. And each time I prepare snails at home, we all enjoy it. I'm really happy because my kids really eat it. It's not a meat that is found here. We can only bring it from Cameroon. So like you are seeing the little foaminess, is to tell you that the water is really drying out. So at this point, if you want your snails really crunchy, this is the time where you can leave it more longer on the fire. The ladies who sell snails back home, they actually leave it at this point. Just keep on stirring until the snail is really crunchy. But I have kids again. I don't need it to be very crunchy. It will be hard for them to eat. So I'll just leave that to cook for about 2 more minutes, and voila, our snails will be ready. So if you have watched up to this point and you enjoy what you just watched, just support the family by liking the video. And if you are willing, you can also subscribe, and please don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that I get notified each time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.